So I'm not, this isn't a tarot reading or anything. I just thought I'd talk about something different. I guess this is a way of me just kind of getting something off my mind. Um, so I didn't read the article, but I saw a link to an article on social media yesterday about how, I guess, vets say that, I can't remember the exact title, something like vets that say that a vegan diet is doable for your cat or dog. And it was shared by some sort of vegan establishment. And it got me really annoyed because I thought any vet that is telling you that a dog or a cat can be vegan should be struck off. I would not take my animal to that. And that noise you hear in the background is my dog, guess what, eating a bone. So one of the things I considered, so it's interesting because I'm making my cup of tea just now, and I was very succinct because it's one of the things I do when I want to get stuff off my mind is just talk to the wall, and then I feel better. I can kind of articulate it with words rather than in my brain, and then I can kind of make some peace with whatever's bugging me. So before I adopted little Pootie Pie over there, one of the things I considered amongst many things was how would I feel that she's going to have a different diet to me? So for me, the idea of, I mean, I'm at a point even touching me, I don't want to do it. But how am I going to feel? Because she's a carnivore. Felines, canines are carnivores. Now, I would extend that a bit and say carnivores probably more opportunists. So I would say they're more omnivores in the sense that when they're in the wild, and she was a former street dog, so when you're a street dog, you've got to do what you got to do to survive. So if you find a piece of bread, you're going to eat it. One of the things she loves is apples, so she will eat pretty much anything. But I get it. She was a street dog. She's going to eat what she can eat in order to survive. Unfortunately, one of the downsides of being a street dog is she's also a hunter. So she's brought me a couple of animals before, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with it. Fortunately, one was alive. I was able to rescue it, but she's doing what's instinct to her. She doesn't know when her next meal is, so she's always vigilant about what she can catch. Anyway, back to it. So I believe that dogs are more omnivores because they will eat fruit and vegetables. She loves carrots. And I offer her those things because I know they're not going to harm her, but I also don't think they're really going to do a whole lot. Now, I know that things like pumpkin is good for digestion. That helps an animal whether they are suffering from constipation or diarrhea, but a little bit of pumpkin in not animal, but dog, put a little bit of pumpkin in their food, and that helps them, their digestion to function a little better. But ultimately, she's a carnivore. She's got those teeth. You see those big, well, you can't see them from here. She's got those big teeth. She's got the big teeth for a reason. She's designed to eat the flesh of other beings. So when I thought about adopting a dog, because I love dogs, I thought, is this something that I can get my head around? Because, as I said, the idea of me even being in my house really is hard for me. Because I've not, I first went vegetarian when I was in my early 20s, and I went vegan for a while. But the idea of having to deal with meat, because when she's got sore tummy, she can't eat like proper food. So I know a lot of people then they feed their dogs chicken. I tend to go the route of fish. But again, I had to consider, would I be willing to deal with the flesh of other animals in order to sustain her? And the answer is yes, because she's here. It's not an easy thing for me, but it's for me to want to change her diet to suit my ego is not on. She's designed for one diet, and I can choose to do what I want for mine. So I believe humans are also omnivores, and we can eat a variety of things, and we see that. There's people all over the planet that eat a variety of things. But the animal welfare thing, it's bothered me, and so I've done a lot of thinking about the whole thing. I think factory farming is horrific, and I think that needs to change in a huge way because so many animals are suffering from it. I really feel it needs to leave. We need to get rid of the intensive farming. It's terrible. But you get rid of that, then what? There are loads of people on this planet who are smallholders. They are indigenous. They live closer to the land. Do we go in and we make them surrender they've got a few chickens for eggs. They've got a goat for milk. Do we make them surrender all of that? You've got the Maasai in Kenya, that they have their herd of cattle, and they live off the blood and the milk of the cattle. Do we make them get rid of their cattle because it's animal abuse? So it made me think of the bigger picture about what is. And during my soul searching, I realized that we live on a very low frequency planet. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, I know we all have different spiritual beliefs, and some people don't believe in a creator of some description, whether you want to call it God, whether you want to call it universe, whether you want to call it source energy. And I understand some people don't believe, but the nature of this planet, whether you believe in there's a creator or not, the nature of this planet is beings eat beings. I've once went on safari, and watching animals kill animals is not nice. I mean, I didn't actually see a kill, but I did see animals like lions eating the fruits of their labor, so to speak. That's nature. So you're not going to convince a lion to eat a carrot because that goes against its nature. So the nature of this planet, this realm, I wouldn't say the planet as much as I'd say the realm. The nature of this realm is very low vibrational. Doesn't make it a bad place. It's a place of learning about, I believe, that my soul is here to learn about what it's like to live in a very physical realm. So everything is in the physical. We have our senses, we touch, we see, we hear. Everything's very, very emotionals. Everything is very intense here. So between the fact that you've got your senses and emotions, and part of that is the fact that beings eat beings. So whether humans all 100% went vegetarian or vegan, you still have other beings eat beings. You have plants that eat animals. You've got plants that eat flies and bugs and things, and you're never going to stop all that. So, I could talk for ages on this, and it's interesting, as I said, when I was kind of talking to the wall, I was making the tea, it was very succinct and it was flowy, and now I put the voice on, and it's just kind of, it's not flowing as well, which is interesting. But I guess the other thing I was going to point out is everything in this realm is a living soul, is a soul. So it's not just the things that we can associate with. So we can associate with an animal and how an animal might feel at being used for food. But it's not just that. So the plants are individual souls, everything. Animals, so if you go through the whole thing, animal, plant, mineral, all have souls. Your air, fire, earth, water, ether, plasma, all are individual souls. So as souls here in this very dense realm, you're going to have feelings and emotions and everything else. So just because I can't associate what a carrot might feel at growing and being pulled and being eaten, there are some people who they're not fazed by, intensive farming, because from their perspective, they can't associate how it feels to be a cow. So where am I going with this? I think the thing was, I was just so frustrated that, you've got some vet promoting vegan lifestyles for dogs, domestic dogs or cat. And I would say that if you're a vegan and that's so important to you that nothing in your realm has meat or any kind of meat products, I would suggest getting a rabbit or getting a canary, something that is not going to eat animal, because at the end of the day, that is a meat eater. And maybe you should do a bit of soul searching before you decide to adopt your cute cat or cute kitten or cute puppy, whatever, and understand that you cannot create a vegan out of that. So yeah, it's there. I have uncomfortable moments with it because of my own choices, but I have to understand that she's not me. And that's the other thing I was thinking about is, for me to expect other beings to adapt my way of living and my diet, that's a bit egotistical of me. Yeah, I could talk for ages on this, and like I said, I was just talking to the wall for a while, and it was all kind of flowy. Anyway, I realize I'm going in circles, so I'm gonna shut up now. But yeah, I just think any vet that's promoting saying that you can have a healthy dog or cat from a vegan diet should be struck off. I would not trust them one iota. But they know deep in their soul that you will be back one day because you're going to have a very sick dog or cat, and you're going to rely on modern medicines and quote special diets and all sorts of things in order to your animal to survive. And your animal may not. I would say your animal is going to become very sick because it's not eating what its body needs. And then you're going to have such a reliance on the modern medical establishment that they're going to be making money off you no matter what. These are just vets trying to appease people, rather than understanding the nature of that we are individual creatures. Anyway, everything that I've talked about in these last 11 minutes, to me, have little offshoots of other conversations. And these are things that I've been thinking about, mulling about, talking to the wall about for a number of years. One thing, if you can do anything to bring you peace, if you are staunch whatever, you're staunch vegan, staunch vegetarian, you only eat fruit. There are people on this planet who only eat fruit. People on this planet that they have a certain kind of veganism, that they only eat things that keep replicating. So in other words, they would eat an apple because it comes from a tree that keeps replicating apples, but they would not eat a carrot. That's their choices, and I respect everybody's choice. That's fine. But just, I would guess one thing to consider is that this is a low vibrational planet. You're going to find there are creatures here that cannot live like humans choose to live if we want to go, and eat. There are some people that live on prana, which is air. And it is a thing, believe me. So we have a wide variety of what people can do. But when it comes to animals, I don't want a sick dog. Anyway, so sorry if this was a bit clunky. I wish I had my phone with me in the kitchen because it was just like flow. It was great. But anyway, if it helps your heart at all, I would say the best thing you can do, and what I do when I pray over my own food, I pray over little Pootie Pie's food over there, and I thank every single being that is part of not just my sustenance, but her sustenance. It's not comfortable, like I said, because of my diet choices, but I appreciate everything that Mother Earth provides for me and for her, and I honor every soul that goes into my sustenance and her sustenance. And on that note, I'm going to shut up. If you've made it this long, you deserve a prize. I should do some sort of prize at the end because I don't think everyone has the attention span to get through, nearly 14 minutes. Thank you for listening and have a fantastic day.